golf posture is something that all good players and teaching professionals and the guys you see on TV are all going to start with the basic fundamentals before they hit a shot. Make sure your grip's good, make sure your posture's good, make sure you're aligned corrected towards the target. One of the things that it can be really easy for your average player or even your better players to remember sometimes is how much being a little bit off in these areas can affect other parts of your swing. So what's the classic posture mistake and error that we all make? We get a little bit slouched in our shoulders, right? So if I'm sitting up, for me, and I don't have very good posture, I get a little bit slouched in the shoulders. And now when I complete my swing and I get it to this position, I'm a little over the top, right? Most of your players, you're going to want to see the club coming from the inside, and now I'm a little over the top. Now watch what happens when I just get my shoulders back in line in the correct posture. That club moved from there to here. So if your posture is slouchy, you're going to have a tendency to lift the club and get a little bit over the top. When you start with the correct posture, get your chest out a little bit. We're not trying to hyperextend and do anything crazy here, but just get your chest out and then get into your comfortable golf posture. And then you just maintain that. So you're here, you maintain it on the way back down. Now look, the club's right down the line. If I get slouchy in my shoulders, look, I'm over the top. So when we talk about train, you want to train your posture also. You're not just going, we want to get it here, but if I'm being honest right now, I'm not in the best shape in the world, so I've got to add some tension to make myself get in this correct posture. But the more I train my posture, the more it's going to be natural to get in there and keep those shoulders back, keep the chest out a little bit, so that I'm going to be swinging the club on plane naturally, where when I get a little bit slouched over, the natural swing's going to be a little bit more over the top. So if I am someone who has these really slouchy shoulders, what are some ways we can train that so that we do naturally have our chest out a little bit more and our shoulders back, so we are going to get into that golf posture a little bit more comfortably?
Yeah, great question. We talked about it on the podcast, just working on pulling exercises, whether it's taking a dumbbell and doing a row or using the cable at the gym and pulling down. It's just to use a simple term, it's just pretend like you're squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades and, just taking a look in the mirror. And if your typical posture is here and your setup is here, that hurts my low back. I know I'm not getting any thoracic rotation. So I think just simple terms like just sticking your hips out. Like if you're going to shoot a jump shot or if you're going to tackle somebody, it's just what we call an athletic position. And I think you take any sport, there's an athletic position, and just figuring out. I think for a while, when I talk to my clients that have bad posture, it's just you have to just work on it. I think for guys, if you see a cute girl, naturally your posture, your chest goes up, your voice drops, and you're asking where the weight room is.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's just they have that same mentality on the golf course.
And when you start to work on your posture a little bit, we were talking about this on the podcast today, that the more I do farmer's carries and some of these pulling exercises that you're talking about, the more I tend to feel more comfortable standing in this type of position, talking to you. My chest's up a little bit. It does expose my belly just a little bit more than maybe I wanted to, but my shoulders are back, my chest is up. It actually looks like my chest is bigger than it probably really is. Or you could say when I'm slouched like this, it looks like I don't have a chest, right? But it starts to become a little bit more comfortable. But what I've found myself doing a lot is working on posture even when I'm not in the gym. In fact, my daughter told me just the other day, "Dad, you have really good posture." I said, "Well, I'm so grateful to hear you say that, because I've actually been working on my posture a lot lately, and it's good to see that somebody's noticing it without me even prompting her, right?" But a lot of times when I'm on a walk, I'm trying to make sure I'm walking with my chest out a little bit more. When I'm sitting around on the couch, I even caught myself when we were on the podcast today, I was starting to slouch over a little bit, and I'm like, get it back here a little bit, But you start to, just training it, it's funny, even just a couple of weeks of doing some of these things starts to really train yourself. Oh, it feels more, you start to know what it feels like to have those shoulders back and squeeze those back muscles. And it starts to...
the minute I go like this, right?
Yeah.
Your stomach goes in, and what happens? Your chest goes up. So I think even something simple as in drawing your abs in toward your spine. You know, if I'm pushing everything out, there's no tension in my abs. This is my natural posture. And if I draw my abs in, they go up under my rib cage, and my chest rises, and I actually get a little taller.
I was on a walk last night, just going for a walk, and I'm getting my chest out a little bit, and I thought my belly was getting big, so I sucked my belly in a little bit. How much utility is there? I mean, if you're just doing simple things, just going on walks. This is not a complex gym movement, right? I'm just going for a walk, right? But if I'm going for a walk and I'm working on my posture and I'm tightening in my stomach, that's got to be still working those posture muscles a little bit, even if it's not a workout, so to speak. The more you can, I'm not sure that this is true, I'm asking, is it the more you can practice these things just in your everyday life, is it training those muscles to, it seems to me like it would become more natural. You don't have to be in the gym to work on posture, to work on engaging your core, to be working on engaging your shoulder muscles and getting your chest out. Can you do these things more just in everyday life and expect it to feed into your golf swing?
Yes, absolutely. I think there's that misconception that for somebody's abs to get stronger, they just have to do a lot of crunches and sit-ups. But if you've already got bad posture, continuing to do this, you're just reinforcing this posture. So I think something simple as walking around and drawing your abs in. If your abs are weak, this is tiring. To hold my core in tight is tiring. This is, feels more comfortable. So even something simple as walking around when you get up out of your chair, like you just bring your core in tight. And after a while, it'll just become second nature. But right now, you have to consciously think about it because you're not aware of it until now.
Yeah. So it's you say fake it till you make it, but the more you fake it, you're actually training yourself to make it at the same time. And that's one really subtle way to work on posture that doesn't involve getting into the gym and doing a whole lot of different exercises. Just practice better posture, and you'll be using the muscles that you need to have good posture. And guess what happens the more you use those muscles, the better your posture gets.
Yeah. If you want to really work on it where you don't have to think about it as wear a shirt that's one size too tight, all of a sudden your abs are engaged, right? So that's your challenge. Buy or wear an old shirt, and then you're like, whoa!
Simple fixes
Yes.
to your body problems.